Hey guys, it's TinkerTaylor here today with another shell. I know, I've been doing a lot of shells lately, but I find it's really helpful to do shells, especially when I get really busy and stressed and overwhelmed. It's so much easier to do a shell and not have to worry about thinking about a creative idea from scratch. Um, and so yeah, there's definitely going to be some shells. I think I've got one more to do. I'd already done it. And then when I was streaming it at the end, I logged out, like I stopped the stream and I saved the game and I went to exit the game and then it crashed. So it was like spinning for maybe an hour saying, it didn't even say anything. It was just like you know, when the program stops responding and the page kind of goes a bit transparent, I guess. I don't know. That's kind of what happened. And eventually I just went in and force closed it because I was like, well, I saved it. It's fine. It's, you know, like the build should still be there because I saved it. I saved it and then I saved and exited. And when I came back in yesterday, it was still there. The build is still there. You might even be able to see it in the background of this video. But it disappeared. Oh no, it didn't disappear. I couldn't get into it, sorry. It kept glitching out on me. So I could get into the game, and then when I tried to get into the lot, it would crash. Now I've had that happen to me before, but that was on a lot where I had placed 10 million objects. It was the shell the shell, sorry, the ladies shell that I did a while back. That I made into like this really grungy, gross, rundown looking place. And I think because of the amount of wall decals I put on, that was the dirt and the grime. I couldn't open it and it crashed my game. But this one is not like that at all. It's a small build. I've barely put anything into it. And yeah, it crashed. So I don't really know how to fix that. I'm gonna give it a few shots at trying to fix it, but I'm not 100% positive I'm going to be able to. And if that's the case, I'll just redo it, which I'm fine with doing that. It is a little annoying, but I'll live. I'll just redo it and it'll be fine. But yeah, this is a shell by Shermi called the banana split shell. I don't know where that J sound came from. And at first when I was doing it, I was like, I don't really know what I want to do. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I have no idea. This is kind of difficult. And so I spent about 10 minutes just looking at it while I was waiting for stream to start. And I was like, maybe I could do this, maybe I could do that. And then I went with, this used to be part of a factory and now it's somebody's home. And that's what it ended up being. So it's kind of like industrial and modern, well, industrial and fancy, I guess, all in one. I really wanted to make sure that the actual, like if you took out all the furniture, that it felt very industrial. But yeah, I wanted it to feel like maybe they had done a little bit of renovation to it so that it didn't feel as, yeah, not modern. So outside outside and downstairs I do put the industrial fence from the werewolf kit. But upstairs I use I don't even know what pack it's from. It's some glass fence. I normally use the ones from, I think it's Get Together, but it has, yeah, the one you can kind of see on camera now. Got that white trim at the bottom, and I just really didn't like the white trim. So I ended up picking a different one. I'll be real with you, could not tell you what pack it's from, but I ended up doing that, and it looked a lot better. So yeah, we've got this sort of industrial feeling going on here, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So yeah, definitely let me know what you think of this build down below. If you love it, if you hate it, what you would do differently. Because I always love getting feedback from people. I love hearing their opinions. In fact, today I believe Fresh Pick is streaming some more of his shell tours, and I think I'm first up. I really hope I am, because I'm very excited to show it off. And yeah, I just love getting the feedback and people's opinions and, oh, well, that's kind of different and new and that's fancy and weird and, or I didn't like that bit or, you know, whatever. And also I get a lot of feedback from like, not a lot of feedback. I see a lot of other people's shells and their interpretation and I get inspiration from that. So yeah, I don't know, it's kind of interesting and fun to play around with shells and see what everyone else did differently. But yeah, we are working on this shell today. Also, I apologize if you can hear weird noises in the background. I've just realized I forgot to close my window. I normally close my window before streaming because of recording videos because there are multiple dogs in the area who like to bark a lot. But I think there's someone doing yard work or something nearby. So yeah, apologies if you can hear that. But yeah, that's unfortunately what happens when you live around other people. But yeah, if you are also wanting to see some more builds that are not shells, builds that come purely from my imagination, I do have 3 builds currently on standby that are from scratch. One of them I'm about halfway through and I reckon I could get done pretty soon. Another one I'm probably halfway through, but I'm a long way off because it's a massive build. And then the last one I'm like 80% done, I reckon. So yeah, I've got a lot of builds that I can kind of share as different to, like, being different to shells if you are sort of not interested in seeing shells anymore. But if you do have a shell and you want me to take part in it, definitely let me know. I love taking part in shell challenges. It's quite interesting to get these different ideas and not have to deal with coming up with original ideas. But I find it quite interesting and fun. Like I was saying earlier, like you all get the same box, but you all get different views of it, I guess. You get different how do I say this? Like you all get different views, I guess is the best word. Like you look at it and you go, oh, I want to do this. And so you go and do that, and then you go and look at all the other shells that people have done, and you're like, oh wow, I'd never have thought to have done it like that. Like, again, Freshy Shell. I'm gonna keep talking about it because I'm very proud of it. But someone did a vaporwave cafe, I think, or a vaporwave home, and I've never done that before. I don't even really know what vaporwave is, so it's kind of opened my eyes to something that's really new to me, and I think that's really cool. And I do plan on maybe one day putting out some shells, so if you're interested in that, definitely let me know because that's something I can definitely do. Yeah, I'm very keen to try that sort of stuff. I have ideas of maybe doing like a base game shell or a base game in one pack or one kit shell. Because I find a lot of them don't have limits. A lot of them are just like, no, that's it. You just do that one thing with whatever you want, and it for people who don't have everything, it can be quite limiting, and for people who don't have everything and like the build, you can't download it because you don't have everything. So I want to kind of do that. So I think it'll challenge some people, and it also makes it really accessible for some other people. So it fills the two parts of me that I like. I like making sure everyone's included, and I also like making things a bit challenging for people. So, you know, it kind of hits that nice middle ground. So I think that's definitely something I'm gonna do in the future, but it's gonna have to come probably next year because there's a lot of things already on my plate at the moment and I don't want to overwhelm myself. I know I've got the A to Z challenge still going at the moment and I don't really want to put out 2 challenges at once. So yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting and fun and weird, and I am very excited to see like what sort of things people come up with, because I don't think so. When I find out, when I limit myself in a build, such as shell challenges, or when I add extra rules to myself in a shell challenge, I find that I build better. So I'm curious to know if like other people have the same, I don't want to say issue, but like the same thing. Like do they find it easier to build? Like do they find it more challenging to be better because they're not overwhelmed by choice? Or I don't know. I think it's interesting. So it's definitely something I'd like to explore in the future. But yeah, for now we're just going to stick with the A to Z challenge, which, in case you don't know, is a challenge where every week I give out a different letter and you do a build or a sim or a room based on that letter. So I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe we're in week H right now. Yes, we are. And yeah, so basically if you are interested, that means this week you could do a hairdresser as your sim if you wanted to make a sim, or you could do a high school or a hospital for your build, or you could just do like a high school room or a hospital room. But again, you could do anything. You could do any letter in the world, not any, sorry, any build in the world based off that letter, any sim in the world based off that letter. So it could be a person or a job type. And yeah, it's, you get a week to do each one, which is why I've given the opportunity, sorry, the option to do a room. And if you want to do a sim in a room or a sim in a build, you absolutely can. I've capped it to one build, two rooms, or two sims. So you can do, I don't know, like a hairdresser and a hairdresser's little like just like a little hairdressing room. You could do a hotel worker in a hotel room. Like you can do a whole bunch of things. I really don't want to limit people, but yeah, you can do I think it's, yeah, two things, two rooms, two sims, or a build. Um I'm really hoping that makes sense. So basically you can do two sims and two rooms, or you can do two sims and a build, or you could just do one sim, or you could just do one build, or you could just do one room. It really doesn't matter. It's, I don't want to limit people, but I also don't want people to feel overwhelmed with, oh well, I've got to do everything. Like, no, absolutely not. You can do whatever you want. You can make it as small or as big as you want, whatever fits your schedule. Um, there are some people who've participated in this challenge before and they've just done rooms, and I thought that was a really smart idea. So I have opened it up to being builds and rooms, because I feel it's a little unfair to judge rooms and builds together. I think, yeah, I think it'd be easier for people if they had just single, well, I think it'd be nicer if the people who have the time and capacity to do big builds to be compared to the people who do builds, and the people who do rooms to be compared to the people who do rooms. So I don't want people to feel it's unfair or whatever. And then yeah, with the sims, like if let's say it was letter C, you could do a cat, or actually, you know, you could do a horse. We are currently week H, so yeah, you could absolutely do a horse as your sim. As long as it's a cast creation, it counts. Um, so yeah, that's basically that whole challenge. And I do it every year. I have almost put together my full list for the A to Z challenge for myself. I do it in February in 26 days instead of in the normal 26 weeks. And at the moment, I am just missing letter D, J, K, and U, I believe. Everything else has an idea attached to it, and I'm very, very excited to take part in it. I do not want people to feel stressed and think that they have to do it in 26 days, but I do kind of put out a little post to say, hey, if you want to, you can. I know it's just something fun for people to do if they want, but absolutely understandable if you cannot. So yeah, that's kind of that whole challenge, and I feel like I'm going to change it in the future a little bit. I did mention this, I think, in the previous video about turning it into a proper challenge and then turning it into like a competition challenge, and then having it so that people can just do it on their own without being stressed, and not competing. And that when I did tours, I would tour the competition builds, and then I would probably do like some sort of redeem so people could come in to stream and redeem their builds if they weren't in the challenge, so they could come and check it out. And yeah, it's kind of just something fun and silly that I thought we could do one day, and it's kind of, yeah, it's evolved into this bigger thing that I'm really, I don't know, I feel very proud of the fact that this is my challenge and I came up with it by myself and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, if you, like I said, if you're interested, check out my Instagram and my Discord. So Instagram's where my posts go about the challenge. It's got all the hashtags and things like that. But I actually take submissions on Discord because Instagram keeps eating the posts. That's what happened last year. A couple of people messaged me to say, hey, I had a build in this week and you didn't tour it. And I was like, uh-oh. I thought that it would show up, but Instagram ate the post. And I actually had to go find every individual who I knew had participated in that week to make sure that I could find their builds. Because sometimes, like, there was quite a few people who, once I'd realized these posts had been eaten, I would have to go and check everyone's thing each week, and it was really time consuming, and I was really feeling stressed and unbusy. So yeah, that's why I said to do it over on Discord. And I've got, yeah, a bunch of posts and stuff over there, which makes my life so much easier because I can just scroll to the top and input them all in. I'm still going to look at the hashtags. I'm still going to look at Instagram, just in case there are some people who didn't realize that we are taking entries over on Discord, but I'm still trying to find the best way to do it. I know not everybody has Discord, and I know not everybody has Instagram. So I'm thinking maybe I just do it by the hashtag, and if you don't put the hashtag and I can't find it, then that's it. But that'll probably be a next year thing, because I definitely want to share it more broadly. I would like more people to see it and take part in it and have fun with it, because I don't know, it was just really, really enjoyable to take part in. And to do. So yeah, very excited for that. But before I can even get to those builds, because I think it's like 197 other builds that I've got planned for next year. It's pretty crazy. It's for a little secret project I've been hinting at. And it's huge, and it's gonna take me probably years to do. Which is fine. I'm happy to dedicate years to a project, but at the same time, it's also like, oh, it's gonna take years to finish, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to just build normally and have fun with it. Like, ugh, I don't know. But yeah, I'm definitely doing it. I'm definitely committed to it. I'm excited about it, and yeah, there's lots of builds for that. But basically, that's gonna start in January next year, and I'm gonna be doing builds in the background, and like stockpiling up all my builds. And I'm gonna work basically video by video, so all my Gen ones first, and then I'll move to my Feb ones, which are the A to Z ones. And then I'll go to my March ones, which take me back to my secret little project. But it's huge, so I really do need to get started in advanced. I definitely think with uni finishing up soon, I will 100% be able to dedicate way more time to it. So in definitely November, December, but probably half of October, I will, yeah, definitely be able to smash out a lot more builds. And I'm really hoping to get, yeah, all of them done by, well, I saved like all of them, but like maybe all of the February, up to February done by December. And then, yeah, January, I'll try and work through maybe 2 months worth of builds, which is going to be a lot, but the reason why it's going to take me longer to do January, February than it is going to take me to do March, April is because February is 26 builds in 26 days, so like it's a lot. Whereas I think in March I have, I can actually check. Oh yeah, I have way less. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, look, it's 6 less, but still. It's just going to be a lot of probably early mornings and late nights for a little bit until I get really far ahead. And then, yeah, kind of cruise from there, which is super exciting, and I'm very keen for it to start. But again, I've told myself I'm not allowed to talk about it until we actually get to it. But I'm definitely going to hint at it. It's just really exciting, and I'm very excited for it. I also apologize if you can hear the dogs in the backyard. This is why I closed the window, but I completely forgot. I went and got some food before I recorded this, and I was like, okay, when you come back, you need to close the window. And then I came back and I just completely forgot to close the window. So yeah, you can get to listen to my normal background audio, I guess, of dogs. That's not at all frustrating. No, the people who live next door with, well, there's a couple of houses around here that have dogs, and two of them, well, one of them for sure definitely tells their dogs to stop barking, and they try and distract them and tell them it's okay, and they've even tried introducing their dogs to our dogs. But you know, it's not exactly working, and it's the same with the other house that's nearby. We've tried introducing the dogs and getting them to stop barking at each other, but they just won't stop. So yeah, it's not as bad as it used to be. It used to be like 5, 6, 7 times a day, and now it's like maybe 3 times a week. So it's definitely improved by far. But I still close the window just because of the background noise and potentially the dogs barking, and you know, there you go, proving my point that they still do it. But anyway, that's not why you're here for this video. Part 2 to this video will be coming out later this week. It's done, it's finished. I finished this build yesterday, so I'm ahead even further in my builds than I thought, because I thought this was going to be one video, but it would have been 50 minutes long, and I don't know how many of you want to sit through a 50-minute video of me just blabbering on while my build is going on in the background. Definitely let me know if you don't mind it. If you're like, yeah, blabber on, we don't care, it's great background noise, then definitely let me know. But yeah, basically I'm just gonna cap it at around 30-ish minutes per video if it's too long. But that actually brings us to the end of part 1. Part 2, like I said, will be coming out soon, and hopefully I will see you then. Bye guys.